What up, everybody? It's your boy Zach the King up in this motherfucker, man. Yes, new phone, new me. Hello, I'm still kicking shit on this motherfucking iPhone, man. Yeah, I had to get rid of this 12, you feel me? For a long time, I was kicking shit on my old YouTube channel on my iPhone 7. I got that shit upstairs somewhere. But anyways, man, yeah, if you returning to the channel, you already know, man. Appreciate y'all subbing or watching. Hey, if this your first time, hit that subscribe button below so you can be the first to know and you can help the channel grow. Or just keep watching, man. Hey, views, subs, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ones who came back from the old one. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to everybody who be inboxing me, who be hitting me offline, telling me to keep going, Sack. Yeah, man, we need you to get on here and kick that real shit still, man. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on, man. Let me put on the chain, because a lot of I don't give a fuck, but a lot of y'all motherfuckers who be watching be giving a fuck about niggas like wearing chains and all this other kind of shit. I don't really give a fuck about that shit. Just like, as you can see now, like, I ain't sipping on nothing. My old channel, I was blowing like a motherfucker every video, but you know, it is what it is, man. Anyways, man, let me get into the topic at hand. Yeah, J Diggs story, man. What made me think about this is I got a whole list in my phone in the notes of content that and stories that I want to talk about, but I just don't, I ain't a YouTube nigga, you feel me? I'm just a nigga on YouTube. So like, this shit don't do nothing for me. It don't pay my bills. I don't have to rely on YouTube to get up every single day and make a video or make 20 videos talking about motherfuckers, or just, you know what I'm saying? I do this shit when I want to, you know what I'm saying? I do this, other motherfuckers do this shit because they have to. I'm not a YouTube nigga. I'm just a nigga on YouTube. Hey, but if y'all want to make me a YouTube nigga to where I can do this shit full time and you know, make one of my empty bedrooms a studio and get all my shit hooked up. I'm about to buy a laptop and a mic and all that other shit though, and step my channel up for sure. But yeah, man, hit that subscribe button below so you'll be the first to know. You can help the channel grow. And once the channel grows, man, shit, who knows? I might just conform to being a YouTube nigga. You feel me? But anyways, man, I ain't gonna spend too much time on this video, man. I just want to say, hey, shout out J Diggs, man. Happy birthday, man. Yeah, so let me give y'all this little J Diggs story one time, man. J Diggs, all right. So this story happens to be damn, when did this shit take place? This shit had to take place like about July, between July and November of 2008. And I remember that time frame because I was working at this motherfucking Motel 6, right? Now, mind you, let me give y'all a little bit of background on how I even got this damn job. You like, Sack, you working at Motel 6? Yeah, man. I had a cold little hustle. I'm going to tell y'all, too, about the cold little hustle I had up there, right? So anyways, man, how I got the job is I just got out of jail. You feel me? I did like 2 months in jail. I just got out. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother motherfucking YouTube. But anyways, so I just got out of jail. I needed a motherfucking job. You know what I'm saying? Like, already spent 2 months in jail, so I had to sell off a couple of my things so my bitch could keep the motherfucking apartment. You know what I'm saying? And so when I got back out, I'm broke. You feel me? So the nigga Rich that stayed in the apartment behind me, you feel me? That nigga was like, matter of fact, I sold him my SKS. I had an SKS 50 round clip. I ended up selling that to him once I first got out because I needed some money, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, that nigga was like, when he was at my house buying the chopper, he was like, hey man, you know, if you need a job real quick, my cousin is the manager at a Motel 6. Like, she need employees, you feel me? But you'll get the job automatically. Like, I'ma just, you know, it's my girl cousin, she need employees and you good, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, bet, set that shit up. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, so like a day or two passed, you know what I'm saying? So then he came back. We used to always smoke weed at my crib. So he came back like a day or two later and was like, yo, she said it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just call, set up, go to the interview, and you pretty much got it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you got to do is just show up and talk for a couple minutes. I'm like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, hey, bro, it's only one catch to this shit. I'm like, what's cracking? And he was like, yeah, my girl cousin is a dude. I was like, I thought you said it was a she. He was like, yeah, this nigga is a trainee. He like full. He got titties and everything. Like he full trainee, bro. Like operated and everything. Like what do they call that shit? Like post op and everything, right? So I'm like, he like, but it's a job if you want the job. So I'm like, bro, I need the job for at least like 2 little months to get me back some cash flow, and I'll just start selling weed again or something, or I'm gonna do something, you feel me? Like, nigga, matter of fact, sell me this chopper right back and I'm gonna go kick in somebody's motherfucking door. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know me, you know that's how I will get down if I really need to get some motherfucking money. But anyways, fortunately for nobody at that time frame, I didn't have to do all that. I just said, you know what, fuck it, let me go ahead and get this bread. So I went over there to the job interview. Sure enough, man, here comes this nigga busting through the door. First off, this nigga was taller than me. Nigga, I'm 6'1". This nigga's like 6'3". You feel me? Titties and everything. Like, dressed up as a bitch and everything. And he was like, hey. I'm just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? But I need this job, nigga. So I'm like, yo, you know, Rich told me it was good. You know, he said he was cousin. She was like, okay, you know, let me, you know, you pretty much got the job. I just need to know what kind of skills you got so I know what, you know, where to put you at in here. So after I'm telling, you know, I'm just going to say the person, you know what I'm saying? You know, my qualifications and backgrounds on different jobs that I had. You know, longer story short, I got the job. All right. So I'm working the job. Like I said, it's between July and November because I'll tell y'all why I quit the job after I tell a story. So it happened between July and November, right? So I remember one day I used to either work the night audit or I used to work the 11 to 7. Sometimes I might get that 5 to 2 shift or some shit like that. I believe those were the shifts at the time. You know what I'm saying? It was like night audit was like 10 to 6 or some shit like that. The day swing shift was like 11 to 7. That was like the worst shift to me. And then the morning shift was like the 6 to 3, 6 to 2. But anyways, man, I used to like the first shift or the night audit shift, and I'll get to that in a second. You know what I'm saying? On why. So this might be like 2 or 3 stories in one, but bonus stories, man. Hit that subscribe button below so you can be the first to know you can help the channel grow when I drop some more. You feel me? But anyways, man. So I'm working the job. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's within that time frame. It's like summertime, bro. I want to say it was like August of that year, right? So all of a sudden, a bitch come in. You know what I'm saying? As usual, you know. I was working at the Motel 6 right there on Jaboom Street in downtown, not downtown Sac. What is that shit considered? Old Sac? Like Old Sac, downtown Sac, right off of Richards Boulevard. If you know anything about Richards Boulevard, you know that's one of the like underbellies of Sacramento. Is a lot of poor homeless people over there. So Jaboom Street attracts a lot of those motherfuckers that come over there. Man, we had so many motherfucking hoes coming through there renting rooms. We had, you know, all kind of different people, homeless people coming in renting rooms. Mostly it was hoes, homeless people, and people just passing through, really. That was like the main 3 types of people that used to come through. Hoes, homeless people that just, because they used to give homeless people like vouchers like every 30 days or something, and they would come in there and they would have like enough money to buy like 2 or 3 days or some shit. It's been so long. Like I said, it's been 2008. You know, I don't remember the actual details of that shit, but I do remember this story that I'm trying to get to in the first 10 minutes of this fucking video, right? So anyways, so I remember this hoe came in there, you know what I'm saying? A little white bitch came in there and she was like, yeah, let me rent a room. Went through the routine. She wanted a room in the back, gave it a room in the back, all that other good shit. All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? But so then she left, you know what I'm saying? So then like, bro, I bullshit you not, like 20 minutes later, right? I see a motherfucking silver Corvette. I believe bro was in like a silver Corvette. Diggs, if you ever see this video, man, I know you remember what kind of cars you had back in like 08 between July and November, nigga. You had the silver Corvette, nigga. That bitch was wet. You came in that bitch, nigga. That nigga swanged in the parking lot like he was about to start a sideshow, and all I heard was, ah! You know what I'm saying? He pulled up in that bitch. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So he hopped out. So mind you, I had met Diggs before, you know what I'm saying? Back in like a year prior, like '07, in 2007. Matter of fact, it was like July 1st or something like that. And I remember like the date of that shit because they had like Mac Dre Day in Marysville, California. There used to be a club called Planet Rock. And I remember Jay Diggs threw the motherfucking, threw the big ass celebration for Mac Dre Day. Nigga, I was there. I believe my bro D was there. Yuck Mouth was there. I'd already been fucking with Yuck since like 2014 way in Germany. I'll tell some of them stories one day too. Mac Mall was there. Diggs was there. Blue Da Vinci was there. If you go check out that Blue Da Vinci video, I might have referenced that in that story. But anyways, nigga, longer story short, I met Diggs at that event a year prior, right? Matter of fact, what's funny about that shit is we all in the club smoking, like me, Yuck Mouth, a bunch of the Bay Area niggas, right? And I remember handing a Swisher to Diggs, and Diggs looked at me, and that nigga said, "Hey, Cuddy, I don't smoke no Swishers." I said, all right, I took it back and smoked it. I wasn't even tripping. But later on, I found a backwood, and we ended up smoking outside. Me, him, Blue Da Vinci. I don't think my bro was outside at that time. I think he might have been still in the club. I don't remember that part. I think D might have been out there. But anyways, man, so I'd already knew who Diggs was. Plus, Diggs is like a fucking known nigga in Northern California, right? So when he hopped out the car, I'm like, oh shit, nigga, it's Diggs. So he came in there, right? So the nigga was like, hey, homie. He was like, man, did a bitch just come in here like 20 minutes ago and rent a room? And I'm like, yeah, like a white bitch? He was like, yeah, that's that bitch. He was like, man, I think this bitch done stole something from me. I said, huh? He was talking about his chain. If you ever see Diggs, he got a big ass Mac Dre chain. I'm not sure if it was the same chain as in 2008, but it's the same chain as far as like logo goes. You know what I mean? Like he might have a whole totally different chain now, but it was the same. Like, it's like if I got this chain now, but I go get another chain and it's the same exact thing, but maybe a little bigger or something. It's the same logo though. You feel me? Anyways, so he was like, hey, he's like, you think you can do me a favor? I was like, shit, what's cracking? You know what I mean? Mind you, like, nigga, I'm a hood nigga. So any job I get, I'm hustling from. Any job I ever had in life, except for the last 8 years that I've been working for the military, right? I've either robbed or I've hustled from or both. You feel me? I've either robbed the job or I've hustled from the job or both. You know what I mean? And if you ever worked with me, you know that if I had a job, I was either going to rob that bitch or I was hustling like a motherfucker from that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no different from this job. So anyways, you know what I'm saying? So Diggs was like, yo, bro, do you think you can do me a favor? I'm like, what's cracking? So, and I said all that hood shit to get to what I'm saying now. So I'm like, what's cracking? And he's like, man, I need that bitch. I need that bitch information. I need the ID, I need the address of the bitch that she used, or ID card, all the information that the bitch pretty much had, right? So I'm like, shit. Nigga, say less. It's nothing. Like, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, that was a dead-end ass job that I just needed for a month or two anyway. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, shit, it's whatever. I gave Diggs all the information. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was like, hey, Cuddy, thank you, man. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So he skirted out. That was the end of that. I was like, shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever come from it is going to be whatever. So like 30 minutes later, I get a call. I'm like, yeah, Motel 6, woo. He's like, hey, is this the Cuddy that was at the desk? I was like, yeah. He was like, hey, Cuddy, I appreciate that shit, man. He was like, it's all good now. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I appreciate you, bro. If you ever need anything, man, hey, take down my number right now. I'm like, all right. So I took down his number. He's like, hey, man, anytime I'm in SAC, nigga, it's good. Like, it's good. You know what I'm saying? But But what it was is, you know what I'm saying? He really appreciated the fact that I was just like on some, yeah, nigga, because you ain't supposed to be giving people information at no job like that. That'll get you fired. But I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about this job. Like, nigga, if they knew what I'm doing right now, hustling from here, they would already fired me anyway, right? So yeah, that's pretty much the two little J Diggs stories that I had. You know what I'm saying? I ended up moving to Hawaii uh, a lot of years later, actually, from like 10 years later after that in 2018, and Diggs was out there, you know what I'm saying? So I used to tap in with him all the time, but nothing ever came of him giving me the number because he was always out of sack, you know what I mean, at that time. So we never got a chance to link. But yeah, shout out Diggs, man. If you ever see this video, man, you probably remember that shit, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, so yeah, so let me tell you about the little hustle since we on the Motel 6 job, right? So this is what I used to do, right? I was knocking down the little head housekeeper. They used to have a whole bunch of Mexican bitches over there cleaning rooms and shit, right? But there was this bitch named Angelica. Angelica, you know what I'm saying? She'd probably never see this anyway. And the reason why I say her name like that is because the motherfucking trainee boss used to call her name like that, like Angelica. You know what I'm saying? The nigga sounded like a bitch. He wanted to be a bitch. So, you know, so this bitch had a fat ass, nigga. This bitch had some titties. Like, this bitch was fine, you know what I mean? She was probably a couple years older than me, but I didn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? So I was on her, you know what I mean? But anyways, so this is how I used to hustle up there. I was already fucking Angelica, right? So she's the head housekeeper. So when people used to come to the Motel 6, they used to, sometimes, like I said, we had hoes, homeless people, and people that just used to pass by. They would either stay at night or they just wanted to rent a room for a couple of hours and go to sleep. But they still had to pay for the whole day. And they would come in there and say, hey, man, I'm just only going to be here for 4 hours and get back on the road. Do you think I can get a discounted price, or do I got to? I'm like, shit, you got to pay for the whole day, bro. So they would pay for the whole day, but they would leave, right? So this is what I would do. This is why I like to work the morning shift or the evening shift, right? Because the housekeepers didn't get off work till like 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, yeah, like 8 maybe is the last one to leave. Because they used to work early in the morning till like later on, and they would have like 1 or 2 housekeepers just in case anything, you know, happened. But anyways, so what I used to do is the people, and this happened a lot, man, hella frequently. And on the weekends, when I used to work the night audit on the weekends, the Saturday, oh, it was popping. So anyways, so the people that would come in there and be like, hey, I'm only going to be here for a couple hours. When they would come to put in their room to check out, I wouldn't check them out. So it was like they was still there, but they're checked out in their mind. They left. I would either have Angelica go in there and clean the room real quick, or I would call her from home, because like I said, I was knocking her down, so she'll do whatever I wanted. Or I would call her from home, and she would drive back over there and make up the room real quick for me, right? So what I used to do is I used to like hit up all the contacts in my room, or not in my room, in my phone, right? Or while I was working there, I was always networking with hoes, with hustling niggas, with everybody. I was always networking with them, right? So I would take their information down. So just for instances like this. So when those people would check out, I wouldn't check them out in the computer, and I would have the bitch come and fix up the room, and then I would hit a whole list and be like, hey, I got the room half price. But mind you, that shit used to happen like at least 2 or 3 times a day. So I had rooms for like, especially on Saturdays, where the rooms was like, back then the rooms was like probably like $80 a night on a Saturday. So I would sell that shit for like 40, you know what I'm saying? So I already got like $160 between $80 and $160 that night each day, you know what I'm saying, that I was hustling them rooms. I did that shit for like 5 months, bro. I was hustling rooms, you know what I mean? And that's how I used to get hella extra money. You know what I'm saying? What made me quit that job is because the motherfucker, the trainee boss was stealing money, right? This motherfucker was coming in there, and he had the code, so he was putting in the code and taking money out. Now, normally the nigga would just go put the money back before the count in the morning or something, you know what I'm saying? But the night auditor got to do all the paperwork, you know what I'm saying? So what would happen is when the boss, you know, when the supervisor of the training motherfucker had an off day, they used to call in like a roaming manager is what you would call, right? They would call a roaming manager in. So the roaming manager would come in there and do all the work that the normal supervisor is supposed to do, like double check your work and shit like that, make sure all the numbers were straight, right? So what would happen was, and this shit happened like 2 times, and it just made me be like, because I already seen what the play was, it's just, it never fell on me, so I didn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? So one day, the roaming supervisor came in there, and she was checking my work, but I had already left. So the bitch called me all the way back to the hotel. She was like, hey, some money's missing. I'm like, money's missing? Like, mind you, I'm not stealing no money from the Motel 6 because I'm already getting too much money hustling these rooms, right? And there's no way that they can find that shit out. You know what I mean? So what I would do is I would count the money on the camera. The camera would be like right here. I would count all the money right on the camera so they can see like my shit is straight, bro. Like, nigga, I already got my own hustle going over here. I don't need to take shit out this register. You know what I mean? So anyways, so one day the roaming supervisor came in. She was like, hey, I just did your shit. Your paperwork looks straight, but there's money missing. So I'm like, how is there money missing? You know what I mean? So I call the supervisor. I'm like, hey, like, what's going on? She's like, he, she, whatever, him, her, you know, we into pronouns and shit now. He was like, hey, don't trip, I'll take care of it. All right, bet, cool, boom. So then the next day, or not the next day, but maybe like 2 more weeks later, the same shit happened. The bitch, but now this Roman manager is calling me on some aggressive shit, nigga. Now, mind you, it's Sunday afternoon, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I'm trying to watch the Raiders game. Yeah, shout out to the Raiders. And this motherfucker called me back. You know what I mean? And I missed half the game because we couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. And I'm like, bro, I count all the money on the fucking camera. Like, how is the money missing? You know what I mean? So this is what used to happen. The motherfucker used to come in and we used to have to, like, when you had too much money in your register, you used to have to make a drop. So this motherfucker would come in, steal some money out the register, and then either put it back real quick before anybody noticed or just pencil whip some paperwork to where a motherfucker just wouldn't notice. But each time that this person did this shit, it looked like I was stealing money. So motherfucker, like, you ain't finna make me look bad at no motherfucking job. I don't give a fuck if you gave me the job. I don't know you like that. We ain't cool. Not to say I won't take the fall for some of my homies if some real shit happened. But this motherfucker, you stealing this shit and it's making me look like I'm stealing? Nah, motherfucker, I'm not finna snitch on you because I already knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? But let me turn on this motherfucker here. But anyways, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm not no snitch motherfucker, so I ain't finna snitch. So one day, I came up in that bitch like maybe a week or 2 later after the second time, and I was like, hey, check this out. They was like, Chris, why ain't you in uniform? I said, man, I quit this motherfucker, and I was out, you know what I mean? Because I was already stacking up money, you know what I'm saying, from the rooms I was selling. So what I did with that is I went and bought a QP of weed and I started selling weed up at the motel. You know what I'm saying? So then, you know, I already had money. I didn't need the job money no more. I'm back now. You know what I mean? So that's what was happening. So I just quit that motherfucker, man. But yeah, that was the J Diggs story, man. Yeah, I used to hustle rooms up there at the Motel 6, man. If you know, you know, we was getting it. Shout out to Angelica too, man. Without you, it might not have went down like that. You feel me? But anyways, man, yeah, shout out to J Diggs. Happy birthday, man. Maybe I'll drop some more stories on this motherfucker because I got plenty more stories I can tell about a whole lot of different shit, man. But for right now, man, hit that subscribe button below so you'll be the first to know. You can help the channel grow when we out.